All right, so this is the beginner regular workout, we'll call it, the non-desk and chair oriented one. And these are going to be set up as a circuit. So you're going to start with the first exercise. We're going to go right through an entire series. Then you would go back and start at the top again and go back through for another round. And if you've got the time, a third round. So we're going to have two different sequences that go in this, or two different circuits. My preference would be, I'd rather you add more rounds of the circuit versus me just giving you a bunch of different exercises to add on to this. So we're covering all of our basic movement patterns, pushing and pulling and the glutes and all that kind of stuff. So the way I've packaged it, it covers all of the bases. So it's not that we need more exercises. If anything, you can have more volume. But again, we want to keep it nice and tidy so that you can keep these in your world on a regular basis. All right, so the first sequence, we're going to start with a hip flexor stretch. So the biggest thing with the hip flexor stretch is to make sure that we don't drive it through the low back. So we're going to go with a little pelvic tilt, and then the catchphrase is tight gut, tight butt. Keeping both of those tight, then move forward, and you'll feel the stretch in your hip flexor. You're going to hold that 30 seconds, and then repeat on the other side. So just to give you a forward view, we're going to tuck the rear end under, tight gut, tight butt, then move forward, and feel that stretch in the hip flexor. All right, after your 20 to 30 seconds there, we're going to go into what's called a frog bridge. So side view, lying on your back, you're going to take the soles of your feet, press them together, have your knees out, and then from there, elevate your hips. You should feel a nice contraction in your rear end, and then back down. Make sure you keep your feet pressed together the whole time, and you're going to do 10 to 15 repetitions. After your frog bridge, while you're there, go ahead and bring your feet out to a regular bridge, come up, stay in this position, and then pull your toes to your shins 10 to 20 times. And back down. Just get a nice burning sensation on the front side of your shins there. It's going to help you out with the running stuff. Now we're going to go into side plank, and there are a few options here. So one of the biggest things we keep an eye on is hinging up and hinging out of the position. And what I mean by that, so if I have my knee and elbow on the same line, there's a big bend in my spine. I straighten it out, and then I bend it when I go back down. I'd rather keep this nice and neutral, hinge my way back down, and hinge my way up. So notice that my knee and my elbow are in one line, my hips are way back behind it, so I'm going to come up, and then I'm going to hinge my way back out. Now, whether that's the double leg, whether that's the knee position or the legs extended legs a little bit harder. So one option is here, and you're going to hold for 20 to 30 seconds. The other would be straight legs, and then same thing, we're going to hinge up, hold 20 to 30 seconds, and then back down, and then repeat on the other side. We're going to go to a plank next. So from here, distribute the weight through your upper body, then step back with a foot, back with the other foot, and a nice neutral position. So no sagging and no popping the hips up. And we're going to hold this anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds. Or you can break them into smaller chunks, and you could do 3 by 10 second holds if that's where you are right now. Step back, and then hold. And then W's will be our last one in this sequence. So you're going to be belly down, draw your belly button up off of the floor, pick your arms up, your legs stay down, so it's not a Superman. I don't want you arching your low back. So draw your belly button up, and then arms forward, arms back down like you're signaling field goal. So again, keep your belly button drawn up, shoulder blades together, and then go through 10 to 15 of those. So that would be the end of the circuit. Then you would go back to the beginning and start that circuit and go through it a second time, and then maybe even a third time. So now we're going to go into the second circuit of this strength program. So with push-ups, not everybody has floor-based push-ups in their wheelhouse. I totally get that. So I'm going to give you options. One, we're going to start with the push-up. So hands are going to be about shoulder width, and then one hand width wider. We're going to turn so the crook of the elbow is pointing forward, and then as you go down, we're looking for a 45-degree angle here, not a 90-degree angle. So the forward view. Side view. So when you go down, I don't want you going all the way down. I don't want your elbow above your shoulder. Now, let's say doing push-ups isn't where you are right now. Totally fine. One option is simply hold the push-up position for anywhere around 20 to 30 seconds. That's about how long a set takes. Another option is just working on controlling lowering yourself, then dropping to your knees to come back up. So either simply holding this position or trying to lower yourself slowly, and at whatever point, knees, and then you can come back up, find the position, and then just work to slowly go back down. If you're doing that, it would probably be 6 or 7. If you can do a 5-second count going down, that'll come out to about the same window as doing the regular push-up. All right, from the push-up, we're gonna do a seated row. So you're gonna get your band. You're gonna go around your feet. Now, you may need to bend your knees a little bit. It just depends on your hamstring flexibility, because I do want your posture up. I don't want here and then rounding through the spine. So I'm gonna be up, cross the bands, and initiate through the shoulder blades, continue pulling, elbow even with your shoulder, and then back out. Shoulder blades, elbows, back out. Shoulder blades, elbows, back out. So figure out whatever level of tension works for you. That's gonna be somewhere in the, we'll say 10 to 15 range. Now let's say you don't have your bands for whatever reason. So we're gonna take our water bottles. This would be a substitution for that. And then with your water bottles, you would just lean over and do rows. We're still going to initiate through the shoulder blades. I still don't want your elbow going behind your shoulder. The rules don't change, just how we're applying load does. Shoulder blades, elbows, back down. Shoulder blades, elbows, and back down. So that's your substitution if you don't have bands to do the seated row. The goblet squat is next. So your goblet position is here, and if your elbows are out, it's gonna put a lot of stress into the shoulder and neck. So what we wanna do is keep the elbows tucked in, and then go through our squats. So we're looking at 10 to 15 of these. Side view. So the keys are hinge back with your hips, sit down into your heels. As a matter of fact, keep all 10 toes pulled up the entire time you're doing it. So pull the 10 toes up, the rest of your foot's in contact. That will get you into a much better hinging position to get your hips back. So what I'm saying is butt back, then down, and then come up, squeeze the glutes forward. So 10 to 15 of the goblet squat, and then we're gonna go into a side lunge. So we're simply stepping into a side lunge, getting our range, coming up, and then the other side. Really the big thing is the side view. So when we step into it, people tend to drive it through the knee. What I want you to do is get your hips back, and then come back up. The other side, once your foot hits, hips back, and then get nice and low. The forward view, we're really just keeping an eye on the foot. People tend to step and turn the foot out. Make sure that foot lands square to then move into it. What you're gonna do is a 10 to 20 count total, so 5 to 10 each side. That would complete the circuit. Then you would go back, start at the top again with the push-up, go through the circuit again. Again, 2 to 3 times. If you wanna add more, feel free to add more. And that'll conclude your beginner workout.